Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today on this beautiful day. Welcome back to those that are coming back to listen to more of what Renee has to share with us. My name is Irma Lopez. I am the program coordinator for the Illinois Coronavirus Response and Relief Business Center. We are a program in place by the federal government, or a grant awarded by the federal government to the Chicago Minority Supplier Development Council, and we work to provide as much information, guidance, and assistance to help you take advantage of any resources available to small businesses as a result of COVID, funding that may be available. Next. Okay. So today, Renee Velasquez is coming back to continue providing some of his expertise. Today's topic will be email campaigns. He will be going through some best practices and things that you need to keep in mind when you're starting your email marketing campaign. Without further ado, here is my friend Renee Velasquez. Take it away.
All right, everyone, thank you and welcome. These are today's topics. We're going to start talking about small business email marketing. These are our three topics. Capture your customer's email address would be topic one. Topic two, how to create a drip campaign. And number three, effective emails that get noticed. Before we get started, though, I'd like to thank Irma Lopez, for continuing to be gracious host on this platform. It continues to be a valuable resource for small business owners, and I hope to continue the mission. Like she said, if you have any questions, just raise your hand or submit anything via chat, and we'll take care of that. And here's my information. Please jot this down. Anyone has any questions about anything marketing related, definitely give me a call or send me an email. My phone's always on. So up to about 2012, I was creating websites, logos, ads, helping businesses with their marketing efforts. And in 2012, I decided to go back to school. So I would go to DeVry night classes, and that's about the time I met the West Lawn Chamber of Commerce. This could have been a springboard for me, but soon after they closed their doors. And actually, this is how the Southwest Business Network was built and born. So since then, I've been doing some marketing campaigns for the companies you see here. I've done some video production, and I've met some amazing people, and I've gained an amazing amount of marketing experience. And if you want to see more of my work, go to daytimevideo.com, and you'll see a lot more stuff that I've done. So as we get started, what I'd like to ask all of you is, what happens if social media ever shuts down? What are you going to do? How will business owners connect with their customers? Do you ever think about that? How are small business owners communicating with their customers now? So this is where email marketing is very important. And just so you know, the ROI from email marketing is 1 to 40. So for every dollar you spend on email marketing, you can expect about a $40 return on investment when it's done right. So it's very, very critical that you learn how to do it. So we're going to get right into small business marketing, capturing your customer's email address. Now, I strongly feel that if small businesses would have put more effort into building their email list before the COVID pandemic, I think a good percentage of them would not have closed, to be honest with you. And I believe a good drip campaign would have kept the revenue flowing. This here is, this is my personal email. It's at reneevelasquez1@gmail.com. These are all the companies that actually have my email address. So let's talk about this. All right, these companies have my email address. Whether I give it to them voluntarily or not, they have it. So take a look here at the top bar. You have Gmail has divided my emails into 4 sections. Primary. Gmail recognizes that this is a regular correspondence. This is something very personal. This is something I've either responded back to. It's general communication back and forth. And then second, there's social. These come from social media apps and different websites regarding social media. You've got promotions that basically sell and are into sales. And then there's these updates. These are not as engaged emails, but not quite spam yet. Now, if we're going to go back to the dashboard, look on the left side on this in the spam folder. This will be your fifth here. So they're traditional myth. Oh, sorry. A little nervous, but I'll get through this. I still get nervous at these, by the way. There are traditional methods they call lead magnets to capturing email. So let's take a look at some of the ways that this is done. There's the old fishbowl method. I think we're all familiar with this one. Come in, win a free donut, just enter your business card here, win a free lunch, etc. This is how some small businesses like to get their emails. There's the good old sign-in sheet. Irma's very familiar with these. These are always good to have, but at the same time, people generally don't like to put their emails here. They're illegible. They can't read them. To transfer them back into your system usually doesn't work. Then there's the old pop-up box. These are on websites all over the place. Actually, when you're on a website, there's a program within the computers where when your mouse heads towards the X, this box will pop up just to catch your attention right before you leave. Then there's the newsletters, the ebook signups, and the website header and footers. Now, people are very familiar with these, so they're not as effective as they used to be. So what we're going to do now is we're going to talk about more engaging methods, more engaging lead magnets for people. One thing you can do is go to your social media ads, talk about the different groups. You can go into Facebook groups, look around, ask questions, provide your expert advice, and in exchange, get an email address. That's one way to do it. Slide into the DMs of some of the profiles that you see. If you see someone if you see a post, someone on social media who is looking for your product or service, absolutely give them a little DM saying, here, I'm here to help you. Give me your email address and we can get started. And then you've got backlinks from other websites. The websites that link directly to your site, another good resource for email addresses. And then from your website or your landing page, what you can do to capture emails is you can offer a free gift. Say that we can send you out a small sample of granola in exchange for your email address. You can send a PDF guide, create a quiz. How many people, tend to use our products? Why do you use our products? Why do you use us instead of our competitor? Give them some free files, give them an audio file, give them a white page. And then there's instructions. Give them some special instructions to use your product. People will definitely give their emails when they feel they have something of value. Now, as you're capturing these emails, you need to enter them into your database. So you're going to need to learn two terms specifically: tagging. It's a label identifying your email contacts to help organize and classify your emails. And then once you finish tagging, there's called segmentation. Now, this is dividing your email database into smaller groups based on a specific criteria. So these are terms your email service uses to help guide you through their process. And never, ever stop building your email list. It has to continue. It has to grow. If your business is growing, your email list is definitely growing with it. Now, that was the first topic. We're going to go into the second topic, how to create a drip campaign. A good way to help understand how to send emails is knowing what the customers are doing online. Now, there's only three things that they're doing. It's do, know, go. When they're doing, they're prepared to buy something or to take an action like a download. They want to know something, they're going to seek information, and they're going to do some research before they buy or before they store it in their memory bank, et cetera, et cetera. And then there's go. User is just specifically trying to get to a specific destination. Now, when you're email marketing, you want to do the exact opposite. You want to go, know, do. You want to direct your customer to go to your website, go to your sales page. Once they get that information, then you want them to buy. So let's talk about a drip campaign. What is it? It's a marketing strategy. It's known as a drip campaign because it emulates a water faucet dripping into your sink. It's a series of pre-planned automated emails sent over a specified amount of time, and they can be sent over a period of a week or two. It's generally the rule. But before we talk about a drip campaign specifically, let's go into a sales funnel. This is what a typical sales funnel looks like, and it's a digital marketing sales funnel is basically the same. It's just structured a little differently. It looks kind of like this. So a key to a successful sales funnel is to use a marketing calendar. Okay. Now, because this is an automated system, you should plan ahead, look out for holidays, look out for special events, look out for any other special days that may coincide with your email marketing campaign. But let's get back to the marketing funnel. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to break this funnel down piece by piece, okay? This way is going to help you understand how it works for your business. So it starts over here in the upper left-hand corner. Can you see this here? Here's where the traffic comes in to your website, okay? It can come from social media, it can come from other websites, it can come from an ad, but it doesn't matter where it comes from, this is where the funnel begins, okay? Now, earlier I gave you some ideas as to what you can do to attract your visitor. And in this example, we're going to give away a download. Oops. We're going to give away a download. So we're going to offer a download. And what the customer typically will do is opt in. And what the opt-in does, it gives the customer an opportunity to give their email address. So you say, we'll give you this download if we can just have your email address, okay? So what happens is they sign up, they get the download, and you can either have an automated response where the system will automatically thank them, or what you can do is you can thank them later. You can enter that email later into your database and then send the email that way. So that's the first part. Now, if you already have an e-commerce website, meaning you're selling something online, you're already going to have a sales page where visitors can buy your products or service. But if you don't, what you'll need is to create a landing page, like a one-page website where people can buy something or download something. So what happens is you're going to get this traffic and you're going to create an email drip campaign. Okay. Now, once you've accumulated a good amount of email addresses, it's time to start the campaign. But before you start, just remember, use your own list. Get permission from these people, because otherwise you will be looked at as spam, and you do not want to spam. Not only do people not want to receive spam, but the email services will also mark you as red flagged and will they look down upon that. So let's start. For this funnel, we're going to pre-plan 3 emails, day 1, day 2, and day 3. We're going to spread these out for about a week apart and with a slightly different message, and it's going to be automated. So these emails are delivered without your guidance. Okay, so on this first day, we're going to create something of value. Okay, we're going to start a short series of emails on this first day. Let's craft an email that gives a useful tip. Let's do something that your customer has never heard before, something that your company offers that they never knew you offered. Let's give some helpful advice. We like to be the experts. People take value in that. And let's offer to help. Do not sell on this email. That's set up for the sales page. The sales page will do that on its own. Don't sell. And let's drive traffic elsewhere. We have social media accounts and we have other things that we like to drive traffic to. So that would be a great idea as well. As long as it links to your sales page, we'll be good. So when your email list doesn't buy on that first email, they don't go to the sales page. A second email is automatically generated. So another idea for these emails, a series, create a series. Let's say, as far as the granola company, let's say we're going to start making granola cookies, right? The first email would be like, here are the ingredients. The second email would be like, this is how you cook it. These are some of the occasions. And on the third email, this is how you can present it. So you can create a series. Another way is to create a challenge. How about who can make the most creative granola statue? Something like that. Something that they can relate to is always helpful. So after the second email sent out, an automated third email sent out. Now this is assuming that they did not respond. The third email will be sent out. At this point, we're going to end the campaign, okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to circle back and we're going to look at the campaign. We're going to see what happened. We're going to see how many we sent out, who responded, and we're going to check the stats. While we're doing that, let's say someone actually went to your sales page and bought from the order. They went to the order page and they wound up buying. Someone clicked onto the sales page and then proceeded to order. But let's say some of them didn't. That's called an abandoned cart. They go to the order page and they do not buy. That's called an abandoned cart, and that's something we also need to look at. But for this example, we're going to say that somebody went and bought. Okay, and you can send that automated response to just say thank you, or what you can do is you can try to upsell them one more time, and then you can say thank you. Now, here are the top email marketing services that I have personal experiences with. Constant Contact in the upper left-hand corner. This one is very good. Do it yourself. It's drag and drop, very easy to use, great for newsletters. MailChimp is probably the most popular, easiest to use. I think they've been in the business one of the longest. Active Campaign. This is a very, very good email service. Best automation, great data once you're sending and receiving emails. And then HubSpot. Overall, I think this is the best in the business, I think, because they incorporate so many other things along with your emails to go along with the service. And services are usually charged by the size of your list. So if you have between 1 and 100 emails or email lists, it's usually free. It's a free service. If you get up to 500s, it's about $50 a month. And then over 500, they have different tiers. Usually starts about $79 per month to send emails. Now let's take a look at an email statistics sample. For this company here, they had 19,922 emails that they sent out to their list. Over here on the right side, you're going to have the 631. These are errors. It's generally included into the bounce rate. This is the percentage of emails returned by the recipient server. That means you sent out the email that came back and it bounced for whatever reason. It could be a bad email address. It could be their servers rejected your email. It could be that your email is recognized as spam. Whatever it is, it bounced back. And from what I can tell, this email that was sent out didn't perform very well. Only 9% of people opened the email. The average is probably about 30. And then they had 51 people unsubscribed, which is not good either. So once you get familiar with delivering email campaigns, you can start to learn about your customers' behaviors like this. What you can do is you can get an open rate by device. It'll start to tell you who opened it, whether it was a mobile phone or a desktop. Another statistic you can get, days of the week. These are the days of the week you can open here on the industry level on the left side. The email service will also tell you number of words in a subject line. And then finally, open rate by hour. Now, I generally say send your emails early in the morning because people come to their offices or their computers and they read the emails first thing. It depends on the industry on how and what time to deliver, but another general rule is not to send on weekends. So that was section 2. Let's go to our last section, effective emails that get noticed. Okay. Here is a typical email. So what we're going to do is we're going to break this down a little bit. We have the from, the company is called eTouches, the subject line. We have the body here. Let's read this one. Hope you're having a great morning. My name is John, and I'm reaching out from eTouches. eTouches is a leading meeting and events sourcing, registration, management platform. Now, these first 3 sentences, maybe 4 sentences, I would probably delete because you have my name is John up top, and you also have it here at the bottom, which is standard. I would not have introduced myself here. And also, sales is more of a dialogue now. This is an old way of selling. My name is John. I'm reaching out. We have and we got and we can do this and we can do that. That's not the way to sell anymore. What you need to do is you need to invite them and you want to connect. That's the best way to send an email, in my thoughts. So let's look at some of the email open rates. A basic open rate, like I said before, is between 15 to 28%. Now, the Apple phone, the 15 update, Apple iOS 15 software update, they automatically open emails. So this is getting a little confusing for the email services. So the numbers are being skewed right now. I don't know how they're going to address this, but this is exactly what's going on in the industry. If you put nothing in the subject line, you will get an automatically uptick 8% in opens. Adding the word free gets you 10%. Adding the word video to the subject line adds another 19, but the most important is adding a person's name to the subject line will get a 20 plus uptick in opens. Now let's go back to dissecting this email, and we're going to talk about how to use your name. Don't use info at your business and don't use admin for your business because this is recognized as spam. Gmail and others will automatically, and most of the servers now will automatically put these in a spam folder. And as far as subject lines, like I just said, use first names here, and depending on the industry, you can use first name and last name or last name. Use curiosity. People are very curious. Use a question that may intrigue the reader. Use emojis. I don't know. I'm on the fence on this one. I don't know if emojis are taken very seriously. Use them at your discretion, but it does stand out. And then use industry jargon or power words in your industry on that first line. For instance, if you're in the automotive industry, use the words dual cams, exhaust, block, serpentine, etc., etc. Use words that your listener would be, your reader would be very interested to know more about. And the body. People are skimmers. People don't read anymore. They generally just browse through or really skim over the most important parts of an email or the most important words that they see. Use bold words, like the 15 minutes, I would have bolded on here on this email. Use short paragraphs, under 200 words, performs very well. Use white space. This is somewhat of a good use of white space here. Insert a video link. What you can do here, if your email doesn't allow you to send the video, actually attach a picture and then link the video to the picture. And then restaurants, use pictures of your food. People are always hungry. I met the guy from Valpak, the coupon service that would send tons of coupons to people's houses, and they had a small window in the front of the envelope. And I asked the owner of the company why they have a window. He says, I always put a restaurant in that window because people are always hungry. It gets them to open the envelope. So do the same here for your email. And then as far as the body, use case studies. Tell a story. Tell what happened to one of your customers and how your product or service benefited that customer. Use a before and after. These are very good in no matter what business you have. Let's say you have a customer that had a problem, they use your product, and now they want to talk about how their lives or how their business works much better and how it's more effective using your product. Give expert advice. Be an expert. Always give help. Always create value for your reader. And then at the bottom here, use a new closing statement. What you can do, say, I'm a human. I'm not a robot. I'd like to hear from you. This is something different, something unexpected. Add social icons, and remember the rule of 7. People would like to be touched at least 7 times before they make any kind of decision on your business. So to wrap it up, don't use templates. Newsletters are fine, but emails do not. Emails with templates and have lots of colors and graphics look very salesy. It's not a good way to go. Don't sell. If they can't buy from your email, don't sell from your email. Good follow-up on the cart abandons. When someone abandons your cart, just send them an email and say why, what happened, what can we do for you? Any unopens, resend those. Those will get another 8% open rate. And then new customers. Hi, welcome to the family. This is our company. Thanks for joining us. Use casual yet professional subject lines. Always add value to your messages. And always, always respond to all emails. Keep your email list clean. The bounces and the cuts, once you eliminate the bounces and the emails that bounce back to your servers, remove them. Make a decision to remove them. The higher your success rate on your emails is be much better for you in the long run. There's no reason for you to have empty and dirty email lists in your system. Any questions on anything?
Renee, as always, I always come away learning a little bit myself.
Good.
I took some pointers on some of the things that you were discussing, primarily that sign-in sheet.
Yes.
That was a necessary evil that I have to bring to any event, but you are right. They're an absolute nightmare when I bring them back home. And let me show you one from just Friday. I mean, I can't read anything. Most of what they're, Can you even see it? No,
No.
I know. It's this background I have, but then it's I have to play detective, and
Right.
cross reference their name against their number against their email
Right.
because you're writing somebody else's handwriting. Oftentimes they're in a hurry to get into the event.
Mhm.
Numerous things. I had a big challenge in trying to decipher who wrote what.
Right.
Well, the other thing that I like about the other kind of in tune is one of the things that they have pushed us to do with this program to capture not only emails, we have to report the number of services that we provide, our intake forms. And in an intake form, they have to submit their email address, which then gets dumped into a large database to continue to inform those that have showed an interest in our program. So that's another thing that we do in conjunction with the email. So oftentimes when I send out a mass email, I will ask those that have not yet submitted an intake form to do that. And then if no one else has anything to say, when I was with the business enterprise program with the state of Illinois, one thing that the director brought to my attention is that annual calendar that you mentioned with the different cultural, ethnic, celebratory events that take place. And and I was trying to look for it. I can't locate it. There's a couple of organizations that put out these calendars that tell you everything from like Hamburger Day, Short Dog Day,
Mhm. Yeah.
Italian Food Day, and those are great marketing devices for you to take and use them as an excuse to reach out to a vendor. Because one
Right.
thing that Renee brought up, and I wanted to ask him, is how much is too much? Oftentimes, I find myself unsubscribing from certain email campaigns because it's just daily. And this is for products and services that there's no way any person alive would need to purchase something on a daily basis. So at what point is too much, Renee?
Well, it depends on the industry. If you have a heavy touch rate, like say a hair salon where things are always constantly moving and always changing, maybe once a week, or if you have something like if you're a realtor, a once a month, once every 2 months, maybe even once a quarter, just check in, see how your customer's doing. Um, for the most part, I think the greatest rule would be maybe once a week and do a campaign for maybe three, maybe four emails tops. But like I said, make it worth your while. Make it something that the customer is going to want to read, something they're going to get value from, something they're going to take away from, and make sure that that email really speaks to your customer. You have to know your customer to know what they want.
Then the other thing that you brought up that was very important was, the topic on emojis. Just like the emojis, it's judge the nature of the products and services that you are providing.
Hmm.
There's things that you can have fun with and things that you can't. So
Right.
just be aware of that. Another thing, your email address. I cannot tell you how many times I have told a professional vendor, Hot Mama at Yahoo is not a professional and it does not reflect well. Or like I had another one that had Stanky Dog because they had a stanky dog, and that's not. It's you'd be surprised how we
Yeah.
just take for granted that certain things matter and some don't. So
Yeah.
it shouldn't because it's just a way of communicating. But oftentimes, your partners, your customers, your potential investors are going to look at that, and they look at you as a whole package. Because
Hmm.
when they are investing in you and they're looking to promote or partner with you, you are also a reflection of them and vice versa. So
Right.
keep your topics as polished and professional as possible. Take note as to what it is that you're selling. If you're renting bouncy houses and decorating parties, then yeah, fun festive emojis and such. But if you're selling medical devices and such, then your smiley faces and all that are not going to look good in that.
Yeah, well, I'm on the fence with emojis because sometimes you can get a little fun with them. Say Christmas holiday or, 4th of July, you might want to put a picture of a firework or something just to get noticed within the long string of emails that you get every day. It may set you apart for a second, and that's the only second or two that you need for them to open it. So you have to
That's a
remember
great point.
you have
Again,
to remember your job in that subject line, your only job is to get them to open it. That's it. Once they open it, then the email takes over. So if you can get them to
one
open
thing
it,
that was a very, very common practice when I worked for the government was the mail merge um, aspect of sending out mass emails with that personalization. I'm a big fan of personalizing emails. I feel that it shows that you took the effort to make them a little bit, of course, personalized. I like to see my names. It shows that, they took the time to do that. However, it's
Mhm.
very time consuming to go in there and send out 500 emails that are personalized. So they showed us how to do those mail merges where you use the Word document and email address, email account. But that's something that could be a potential workshop in the future too.
That's where these email services, that's
They
what
do
the
that
email
for you.
services do. Yeah, they do. They automatically do it.
That's even better.
Yeah.
Yeah, my organization uses Constant Contact,
Hmm.
and I like it because that the other thing that they do for you is provide a consistent way to market to your business, because you've talked about this before about marketing, how important your branding is, and to be consistent. You want a message to come through, and you easily identify, oh, that's coming from Southwest Business Network. Let me
Right.
open this up because he's telling me things that I want to hear, or he's selling something that I'm interested. So that's a good thing about those platforms.
Right.
Um, MailChimp, we used MailChimp frequently also when I was with the government and sending out surveys. I loved MailChimp because it provided some great way to get some feedback, capturing that information,
Hmm.
and at the same time manipulating the information as well as the data we were collecting as people were responding to that survey. So those are all great platforms. What is the general cost for a small business? Do you know, Renee? Is it we don't we want to keep things as not cost prohibitive as possible for our small vendors.
Well, anything under about 500 emails is free. A lot of email services won't even charge you. They'll show you how to use it. They'll give you just about full access to their service because they know you're going to grow your email list. And once it gets over 500, that's when they start charging. Or after 3 months of using this, that's when they'll start charging because they know sooner or later you're going to grow that email list and you're going to really start taking advantage to the services that they have.
I want to give anyone in on our call today the opportunity to unmute themselves and make any questions that you want, or if you want to provide Renee with your information, if you want to have a more personal conversation with him to discuss anything. Just keep in mind, we're all learning here. There are no um, dumb questions. Everything is well received. And like I said, this is a learning experience for myself as well, because I don't think anyone ever knows everything about everything. So together we get to expand our knowledge and get to learn from each other. So just feel free to unmute yourselves and comment if you just want to share a little bit about your business or any challenges you may be facing.
Irma, I try to do these at surface level. You can't get too deep in on these because then I start bringing people into the weeds. We don't
Yeah.
want that to happen. So I try to stay surface level and then see if anyone can get any kind of information, based on what I'd say at surface level. Because once we get down and dirty at some of these topics that I've been talking about, I mean, I can go a whole nother hour with, going in on that specific topic.
Oh, yes. I mean, we don't want to fix the world right now, but I was just asking to see if there's anyone that has any general question. I see Brian unmuted himself. Brian, did you want to say
Yeah.
something?
Do you guys have any resources that you would recommend to go a little bit deeper on?
Hmm. Do
Like
you have an
what is it?
email? Do
Mhm.
you have an email service, Brian?
We use HubSpot for our CRM.
HubSpot's awesome.
Yeah, yeah, they have a lot of different classes. I just didn't know if there was anything outside of that that you would recommend specifically.
I was going to recommend HubSpot.
Okay, perfect. Well, that works out great.
HubSpot's very good. I would look more into some of the things that they have to offer. They can also, what I like about them the most is that they incorporate other aspects of marketing into the email marketing services.
Right.
This way, it's not just email. It's also, they also go into other ways to help promote yourself. I really like them. I think they do a great job.
Perfect.
I
Thank
see
you.
that they have a HubSpot Academy. Are you familiar with it?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, okay, good. I'm gonna go in there and learn myself. So I see they have some.
Lots of information there.
It's
Yeah,
very
I see they have a lot of free courses as
they're
well.
they're tough to pass those courses, I have to tell you. I had failed them twice.
You know
Oh,
what?
wow.
Sometimes it's better
Yeah.
just to do it, just to get in the emails and just do them. Send them out, do a small campaign, go back and take a look at your statistics. When you see, you get a lot of bounces, it could be you have bad email addresses. When you see you have not a whole lot of opens, your message could be wrong. If you see that you don't get a lot of click throughs and people aren't clicking, they're opening the emails, but they're not clicking on them. There's something that's not right. There's a lot of variables that go into sending email marketing, but sending emails, but you really have to get in, you have to actually do it. Just remember that nothing's perfect. You can't create and master a perfect email. As long as you know your customer, I mean, you're set to go.
Doug, I'm just concerned that they failed you. How dare they? I would consider something like that, like a participation certification. How do you fail that?
Embarrassingly, I failed it because there's like 2 or 3 modules. I think the first one I passed, but the second one, it literally has like 3 or 4 hours of video content. And
wow.
sometimes they ask questions that are super specific. So I learned a trick to passing them. There is, each module has transcripts of the video content as well.
Mhm.
So as you're taking the test, you can have your other browser windows open and do a control F, and each of the tabs you have the transcripts for. So it takes, instead of taking like 45 minutes to take the test, it'll take you 2.5 hours. But you can go into these modules and control F the keywords, like copy and paste them from the question. And typically you'll find the right module and then you just read it for a second again, and then you can get the answer. So it's like it's not cheating, it's just using your resources, because like Renee said, it's like taking a calculus test at school. Like, yeah, it's great to know it, but when you're out of school, you have the resources that you need to refer back to it, so you don't have to memorize all the stuff. I mean, it's regular life. So,
Right.
just watching the videos and the courses, I think, are helpful enough. Whether you quote unquote pass their test is sort of, optional in my opinion.
Well,
But
good for
they're
you.
very
I'm
good,
sure
though.
that copying and pasting, you're reading the responses and you're still learning. So you're really not cheating.
Exactly. You're just.
I give you an A, Doug. I give you an A.
Thank you.
Very generous of you.
Tracy has her mute off. Tracy, did you want to say something?
No, thank you.
But yeah, Doug, go out and actually send those emails out. Start getting used to it.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right about that.
You have to do it.
Yep.
And then once you get the hang of it, you start getting a little creative and you say, oh, you know what I didn't mention? Oh, you know what else they could learn? Oh, you know what else I forgot? Oh, you know what would be a great idea? Hey, maybe we can get. And then once people start responding to your emails, it's such a rewarding feeling, number one. And then number two, you find out more about your customer.
Yep.
Let's say there's an example. There was a company that I knew. I forgot what they were selling, but oh, it'll come to me. I'm getting old, so things come to me later on. but they were selling a product and service. And what happened was they started sending out emails and they were getting the responses and they were figuring out that people were using their product for something else. You know, I thought that was pretty interesting. So you could do it from there. I mean, you could start either a new product line or you could do, uh, you know, a whole rebuild on your product that you have.
Yeah, you just pivot your whole company.
Right, right.
Well, COVID was, I mean, unfortunately, it was a wake-up call for many of our businesses, and those that knew to do this pivoted and restructured and remarketed their goods and services to accommodate this pandemic, and for many take advantage of it. Unfortunately, for many, it was the downfall of them, but it's just who would have thought we would have encountered such a pandemic in this
Yeah.
century?
No one saw it coming.
No,
What happened
so-
was 40, the problem is only 45% of small businesses even have a website or have a social media presence.
Hmm.
So they were already, you know, behind the eight ball. Once the pandemic hit, that was it. They didn't know how to recover.
Yeah, in all fairness, it also, I think, depends on what industry you're from too. I think
Yeah.
obviously some got
Very true.
way harder than others.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, it's interesting because, you know, we're doing less testing these days, but the tests that are coming back are a much higher percentage of positive. So it's not like COVID's going away, but people
Right.
are going away from trying to either regulate it or, you know, run their lives, quote unquote. And with midterm elections now, there's not a lot of media talk or political talk about it. So it's just really interesting to see this new phase. I personally don't think it'll ever go away. I think it's just endemic. Now we're moving into the endemic part of it. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I don't know what's going to happen, but your email list is gold. Can save your business.
Yeah.
And you've got the Christmas holiday seasons coming up soon. So in order to take advantage of that, I would start playing with the email campaigns now. See what works, see who's responding, see how it responds, do some testing, and then, you know, as soon as Halloween starts coming around, I mean, hit it.
Absolutely.
Doug, if you don't mind us asking, what is your business?
Sure. So I work for a company called Kokomo 24/7. And we actually provide safety, health and safety software for events like COVID and you know, incident reporting, case management, emergency notification. So it's really like a return to life. When we got our start in education prior to COVID. So we had website and apps that would help create safer schools. We still do that, and we pivoted to COVID during COVID and updated our modules to be able to accommodate daily screening in terms of you know, symptom screeners like you see when you go to a doctor's office and vaccination records. So you know, we saw a huge uptick during COVID for that, and now we're like I was saying before, we're kind of at the societal, you know, breaking point, I feel like, in societal end of this. But to me, you know, if you look at the Spanish flu that first came around, whatever years ago, that's still here. That flu is still here. And I'm not a doctor, but you know, I'm just a director of marketing, but I can't see coronavirus because not enough of the world will ever get vaccinated. So in 20 years, could it still be here? If I were in Vegas, I'd bet yes. So,
I agree.
you know, it's just really interesting to see how it's going to play through. But, you know, we still offer COVID solutions. You know, we are a minority owned business, but we still offer COVID solutions. But, you know, and I still think that certain businesses will be, continue to be more vigilant. And that's going to be, the health type companies, medical, things like that, close quarter things. But, because of the mindset change, we have to change our marketing focus back towards, back away from COVID and towards the other features that we offer, like, for example, like for schools, bullying and, slash mental health, cyberbullying, fighting is like huge. And so our software provides a platform for schools to be able to document these cases, allow anonymous reporting of these cases, track them, notify the proper groups who are involved in them, whether it's a parent, a counselor at school. We can even alert the police or fire for certain instances. The school can manage their facilities as well. So our software is very flexible. But
Doug, I'm glad you mentioned, because my next question was, are you small enough and are you women or minority owned? And this applies to everyone on this call. If you are small enough, regardless of your race or gender, the state of Illinois has a small business set-aside program. So it's a matter of you registering your business in the commodity codes for the goods and services you provide, and you're listed in a, it's almost like a separate database, whereas you're only competing with other small businesses registered in that database to have access to those contracts. Now, if as a minority-owned business, I don't know if you're already BEP certified, Doug, do you know?
I don't, but I could find out.
Please find out and come back to me, because I retired 2 years ago from the state of Illinois. I was the outreach manager for the certification entity that certifies women, minorities, persons with disabilities, and veterans. So as a certified vendor, you have an increased chance of getting an opportunity, as all these agencies are trying to increase diversity spend. The only way they could get credit for that is if you are certified as a woman, minority, person with disability, or veteran. So
we are certified. We are a certified minority business. Our founder is minority.
And who certified you? There are many entities. I just want to make sure you're certified with the right ones, because the other thing that piqued my interest is there's a lot of demand for educational services, both through the Higher Education Procurement Bulletin Board and all the community colleges in the city, in the state.
I can tell you, actually, I think I sent your organization an email when we found out about this call to ask this exact question.
Doug, I'm going to send you my email address. We could have a separate discussion. We could set up a virtual call.
Sure, that'd be great. I'd love that.
I just sent you, and I also sent an events calendar that I sometimes utilize. It's called www.calendar.com, and it just lists all these various, celebrations that they have throughout the year here in the United States. And then I also submitted the intake form for us to collect information and keep you informed. And then last but not least is my contact information. Now, for anyone here looking or wanting to continue receiving any type of consulting or assistance in the certification process, please connect with me on LinkedIn. I never charge my small business owners, because I'm only guiding you through the steps, making sure that all the requirements listed in the document apply to you. Because oftentimes you'll see the requirement list or the checklist and say, there's no way I could get this together. But more often than not, a lot of those items do not apply to every business. So anyone here, please take my email address. If you're looking to grow through government contracting, I'd be happy to help out.
Oh my God, that would be huge. It looks like I sent the email to ICRR@Chicago something or other. Is that
That's our general email. If you wouldn't mind sending it to ilopez@chicagomsdc.org.
Yeah, let me just, did you say you put that in chat? I didn't see it in here.
Yes. Oh, you know what? I think I only sent it to Renee. Let me go back to everyone.
Oh, okay.
I have that.
Renee doesn't want any more of my emails.
He's going to mark you as spam.
I already did, Doug. Shh.
Oh. Oh, this is perfect. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
we're more than excited to get on like a minority list. The grants would be great, anything like that. We are totally.
Yes. Let's
Excited
connect, Doug. Send me an email. I'll send you the checklist. The same for everyone else on this call. If you're interested, take my email address, send me an email. We'll set up a 30-minute virtual call, and I go through the checklist one by one to ensure that what is on there applies to you. If you don't have it, how to get it, and get you started on government contracting. I see what your company does, Doug, being in great demand, especially with the all this horrific bullying that's going on. I mean, I think that's gone on. I know I was a victim of it when I was a child, but now with social media, the pressure has increased, and to hear of these young children ending their lives as a result of this pressure is just that we should not have one more of those happen. Not only that, all this other violence that's happening. So your services, I could see having some potential growth in the different educational systems.
I echo everything you said. And I'm just putting on our minority certification here just so you have a reference. But yeah, I was on both ends when I was a kid. You know, I was a bully and a bully, bully receptor or whatever. And I probably bullied kids because I was bullied. So, but the way the society is reacting to that is much different than, when I grew up. And yeah, just the amount of communication
I think
channels.
social
and
media just
yeah.
social media kind of multiplies the pressure and the stress much more than what we had. There weren't picture there weren't cell phones, so if you messed up,
Thank God.
it was
Thank God I didn't grow up with
it
that.
was only as far as you could remember, but now there's everlasting proof. So yeah. Does
My
anyone else
friends and
have?
I constantly say, thank God we didn't grow up with social media.
Yes. So if anyone else, does anyone have any questions or comments? Feel free to unmute yourself and speak. Otherwise, we will be tying this up today. So it looks like everyone is
Yeah,
good.
Renee, thanks so much for your guidance. It's great.
Thank you.
So,
I appreciate it.
Renee,
What kind of list you have? How big is it?
I don't know off the top of my head. We have an internal list that I don't know if it's like just contact form, and then we had another list that we worked with one of our partners. I think it was 4,000 or 5,000 maybe. But I have to check what our internal list is. I'm not sure what the number on that is.
Is it nationwide or local, or what do you think?
The big list is nationwide, yeah.
Oh,
And that was an opt-in only, so
okay.
we can like piggyback with their list.
Yeah, the national is a little tougher because you have to try to relate to everyone in the states across the country. It's a little
Yeah.
tough, but
It is a little tough. We're trying to segment our target in a way that doesn't splinter off too many in a group to that exact point. It is tough, yeah.
I think if you stay general as far as, the purpose, like you said, bullying, being a bully, becoming the bully, as you said, you can keep those ties and the subject lines. I think you should be all right.
Yeah.
okay, Renee, if you want to bring up your contact information one last time before we log on, in case anybody wants to reach out to you. Otherwise, if you don't catch his information, I would be more than happy to connect you with him. I have left my email address in the chat. Again, I offer my services to anyone on this call. Feel free to send me an email, and I'd be happy to set up a virtual call individually. If nothing else, I would once again like to thank everyone for joining us. I learned a lot from today's presentation, and I hope it was just as educational for everyone here. I look forward to seeing you at our next event. Renee, do you have another workshop coming up?
Next Monday will be
And what is
about
that one?
branding. Branding.
So branding is
small
very,
business.
very important. It was something that was very much ingrained in my head as I work with, higher level marketing professionals. Your branding is very, very important. So let's tune in next time to hear more from Renee and continue learning. So thank you, everyone. Have a great day. See
Thank
you
you,
next
everyone.
time.
Thanks so much.
Bye-bye.